punch in the face for thinking that you just see YouTube. This is what the BMG niggas do. You get big racks, you feel me?
You already know BMG got this city hot. And that's a fact.
BMG got the city hot. Foul.
BMG got the city hot.
You wanna shoot up a class like a school shooter? Better know my clip like a school.
What's good, Stella King? It's your boy Class, and you are now tuned in to the realest reaction channel on the tube. I need everyone to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Today I'm going to be reacting to T Grizzley Jewelry Heist Gone Wrong. You get me? Without any further ado, let's get straight into it and see what I want.
T Grizzley is one of Detroit's most popular rappers. He blew up with his song First Day Out, which dropped the day he got out of prison after some dorm room robberies and a jewelry heist gone wrong. Let's take a look at the come up and criminal history of T Grizzley. T Grizzley's from the Joy Road neighborhood on the west side of Detroit. He was raised by his grandma and other relatives while his parents were in and out of jail. He watched his uncles rap, which inspired him to start making his own music when he was 11 or 12. In middle school, he formed a rap group called All Stars Ball Hard with some of his homies, and they would post their songs on YouTube. But early on, T just saw music as a hobby and didn't think of it as a legit career. Growing up with his family in the streets, T had to hustle to survive, but he stayed on the right path and never got in much trouble with the law. He never smoked or drank and got good grades in school. So when he graduated high school, he went to Michigan State University where he studied accounting and finance. But in 2011, T's mother got arrested and was hit with 15 years in prison for drug trafficking. A year later, his pops got murdered. So going into college, the rapper had no financial support from his family.
See, this is why I be telling niggas too, because sometimes niggas think because people choose to do good instead of doing bad, that means they sold for their pussy and shit, you feel me? And I hear a lot of niggas put that on people like, oh nigga, you was never like that, or da-da-da. At the end of the day, you don't know what niggas was like, you just know them for not doing the shit that you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like some niggas feel like, all right, yo, I was 15 and I was getting locked up, I was breaking the law, and you at 15 going to school and getting good grades was a bad thing. You was a lame, you know what I'm saying? But nigga, at the end of the day, niggas is capable of doing the same shit. It's just one nigga just choose not to. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, some niggas could beat a nigga up and they know they could beat a nigga up. But just for that reason, they won't fight that nigga. It's like, I ain't worried about that nigga, man. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But they got the people with that. Oh, yo, these niggas acting like they tough now. Because I hear a lot of people, like, especially with him, like, yo, this nigga wasn't no goon. But at the end of the day, that don't mean that you can't grow up into being something because of life circumstances. You feel me? And this is like a perfect example. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you have parents that love you and there for you. Your job is to make them proud and shit. But then when shit like that happen now, nigga, you dead, you gotta go get it. When shit happen and it hit the fan, you gotta go get it. You know what I mean? And it brings you to the street.
He had a hard time getting by. Eventually, he would make the street activities to make money. He and his friends started hitting licks on unlocked dorms in a building called Hubbard Hall. They'd break into the dorms late at night and steal whatever they can get their hands on, like cash, laptops, cell phones, and other expensive items.
I ain't gonna front, this nigga T Grizzley starting to look like he be working on his legs now. Cause y'all remember, like in the beginning, this nigga used to be built like Mr. Incredible, upper body big as shit and legs mad small, looking like his legs no homo growing into the rest of his body.
15 days, they hit successfully at least 12 different times, but their run wouldn't last long, and a few weeks later, they got caught by police with some of the stolen items. The cops caught them with over $20,000 in stolen products and cash. But while they was getting arrested, T's homie took some of the stolen items from his room and moved into another dorm. This made it hard for police to prove he was behind the robberies, so they had to let him go while they did an official investigation. Now with his original plan ruined and all his money gone, T had to come up with a new plan to make bread. That's when he and two of his homies decided to go out of state and rob a jewelry store. On July 21st, 2014, T and his two friends, Dwan Harris and Theo Evans, drove to Lexington, Kentucky to rob a jewelry store called the Castle Jewelry and Pawn. As they was driving down to Lexington, T got a call from the sheriff's department in Lansing. They told him they had a warrant out for his arrest over the Michigan State robberies. His co-defendant already turned himself in, and they suggested that he do the same to get a lighter sentence. After getting the phone call, T said his heart was racing, but he was still broke and now needed money for lawyer fees. So he thought he could hit a quick lick in Lexington, then use the bread to fight the case. But the robbery ain't really go as planned. The minute they stepped foot in the store, they started to attract attention. T was wearing a hoodie, and the store owners questioned him about it. He told them he was a boxer and was trying to lose weight for a fight, so he'd been out jogging. They took his word for it, but still kept an eye on him. Once they got close to the Rolexes, T pulled out a gun and smashed the glass. But before he could even get his hands on one of the watches, he heard someone yell freeze. Without even looking up, T already knew someone had a gun pointed at him. He also had a gun in his hand, so he thought about testing the store owner to see if he would flinch. But when he looked up, he realized he was about to duel with a white dude born and raised in the South who wouldn't think twice about blowing his head off. So instead, he just dropped the gun and got on the ground. The owner called the police, and T and his homies got arrested and charged with first-degree robbery. At first, he thought it was all over for him. He was already fighting another case in Michigan and had no money for a lawyer. But instead of giving up, he hit the library and went through as many law books as he could. He and his co-defendants ended up doing some research and found a similar case. They realized that under the law, they ain't actually commit robbery because they never made it out of the store. So the most they was guilty of was destruction of property. He told his lawyer, who brought it to the judge, and got the charge dropped down to unlawful taking or disposition. But the only way to get the deal was if T got his co-defendants to take it too. At first, they ain't want to do it, but he convinced them that if they brought the case to trial, it was all over. So they eventually agreed, and T got sentenced to 9 months. But even after that, he was still facing
these niggas was procrastinating about taking 9 months. You know, if shit would have got crazy, they probably would have fucked around and snitched if they heard big numbers. Cause like nigga, 9 months. Like if your mans came and told you, yo, bro, we was about to, you feel me? We about to catch a stain or whatever. You already know what it is. If you get caught, this can happen. Woo woo. But then you hear 9 months. You got caught in the act, but you had 9 months and you questioning that? You supposed to jump on that. What? 9 months? Give me that.
Guns a second-degree home invasion for the robberies in Michigan. After doing his time in Kentucky, he was sent back to Michigan, and prosecutors offered him a plea deal to avoid going to court, and he accepted it right away. So, on February 3rd, 2015, T was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Even though he spent several years behind bars at that time, he started feeling optimistic. When he got caught in Kentucky, he thought it was all over, and he was never getting out. But now, there was an end date he looked forward to. Plus, unlike in Kentucky, when he got to prison in Michigan, he knew people from his hood who was there, so he felt more comfortable. In an interview with XXL, he said, "When I first came in, I used to fight, I used to get jumped, jump people, steal from people, get stuff stolen from me, but I realized that ain't how I want to do my time. Plus, I want to go home. I realized that I got problems bigger than anything that can happen in prison. So I started reading books, talking to people who had a head on their shoulders, sold my TV, and just got a whole bunch of books. Started talking to old people, people who weren't coming home, started figuring out what was important. That's also when he first started getting serious about rapping. Now that college was out of the picture and he had no money, he had to find a new career path. So he started working on music that he planned to drop after he got out. That's also when he first got the nickname T Grizzley. Other inmates started calling him that because he let his beard and dreads grow out and started wilding out like a grizzly bear. He had about 10 songs written and created a plan for how he was going to drop them when he got out. As soon as he was released, he borrowed $250 from a relative to pay for the beat to First Day Out. He went straight to the studio with the same clothes from jail and recorded the songs that eventually ended up on his debut mixtape, My Moment. After that, he shot the video for First Day Out outside of the Ryan Correctional Facility, the closest jail. Then he brought the video to Joseph McFashion, the owner of a popular YouTube channel and website dedicated to Detroit-based hip-hop, who agreed to share it on his platform. T told himself that if he can get 10,000 views, it meant people was paying attention and he was on his way. But before he knew it, the video already racked up 250,000 views. Then he started getting calls that local promoters wanted to book him at clubs for $50,000. At that point, he only had one song out, but that was enough to get the crowd going crazy. Not long after that,
yeah, you know what's crazy? When he came home and he dropped that First Day Out shit, like I seen it because like I'm in tune with the Detroit scene too. Like I was listening to mad Detroit niggas. You feel me? Like y'all even see like I be like, well, if you a real subscriber from back then, you know I rock with Sada Baby and mad Detroit niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I was in tune with this shit because I was subscribed to some of them like cameramans and shit like that. You feel me? Because I used to be watching a video to see how I wanted my music videos to look at one point and shit like that. But anyway, long story short, one of my mans was locked up with this nigga, my son Black and shit, had they had went OT fucking with the cars and shit, and they had got caught up in Michigan or whatever. So him and T Grizzly ended up being locked up together and shit. Like if you hear T Grizzly rapping about like, yo, he met some Crip niggas from New York and shit like that. He's talking about one of my son Black and shit, or whatever. Niggas was locked up together and shit. Anyway, my mans came home and shit, and he was telling me like, yo, I was locked up with son, da da da. He just dropped some fire and shit. You should check his shit out or whatever. And I went to the shit. I seen. I'm like, yo, I dead ass know this shit already, nigga. Like, I got this shit on my playlist. This shit hard. He's telling me about the nigga and shit. You feel me? Like him and that's why I believe some of the shit T Grizzley be saying, because my man's was actually locked up with the nigga and shit like that too. Long story short.
He signed with 300 Entertainment and performed his hit song in front of 20,000 people after Chris Brown and Trey Songz brought him out at the Detroit stop of their tour. What really made First Day Out go viral was the fact that T told his real life story with detail, which is rare in modern rap. On the song he raps, I went to trial back to back, 2-0. The state of Kentucky banned me from every jewelry store. Say I can't even be in public with my hoodie on. Michigan State don't want him here, they don't know what he on. So a lot of the bars in the song was inspired by the events that happened right before he got famous. Ever since he blew up, T Grizzley has stayed out of trouble and focused on music. He must have learned his lesson after almost losing everything before his rap career even started.
Yeah, like this nigga videos just be ending abruptly. But you feel me? Real nigga shit though. That's some smart shit, you feel me? Like, yo, once you acquire that type of money, remember, the reason why he went on robberies in the first place was to get money. The reason why he was trying to trap was to get money. So at the end of the day now, you're doing something that you like to do and you're making money for it. See, like me doing reactions and shit. I like listening to music and shit. I sit down and watch videos all day. Now I can get paid for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So why would I be trying to indulge in the stupid shit? You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta indulge in that shit no more, nigga. Because the whole reason I did certain shit was because I needed to get money, just like him. And I be seeing rappers like they get famous, they make millions, and then they getting caught up in shit that niggas in the hood supposed to be doing. It's like, yo, bro, what the fuck is you on? Like, matter of fact, give me that money and then you come back and live in the hood and let me move, because you rather be in the hood anyway. So give me that money, let me move, and you come back in the hood since you want to enjoy what's going on here, the festivities in the hood. Because real nigga shit, I don't want to be in the fucking hood, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, you got all this, you got millions of dollars and you still fucking up. So T Grizzley is actually a small nigga for, you know, making his bread and, you know, staying on track. Even though he been in a couple of incidents and shit like that, but, you know, it comes with the territory, you know what I mean? It comes with the territory. Even though you don't want to indulge in the stupidness anymore, sometimes they got people that's going to test your character. And then, you know, you already got that background from the hood, and sometimes they get that shit out of you know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know, coming back to the hood and trying to be part of certain shit, I wouldn't name certain rappers, but this ain't about them. I could name rappers for example and shit, but, you know, y'all niggas know. Y'all watch the same shits I be watching, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, leave a comment how you feel about the whole situation and shit like that, man. I like this video. I actually enjoyed this shit. Shit was like a movie, low-key. It's your boy Upper Class. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a new video. If you not subscribed to Stella Gang yet, what you waiting for? Come on, join the squad, man. Stella Gang got the city hot. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you notified every time I drop a new video, man. BMG got the city hot. Y'all niggas know what's going on, man.